right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. We got our special guest, Nike, here coming out of Texas. So excited for you guys to get to know her. Before we get started, I do want to do a special shout out to Heather Russell Schroeder over at CIS, Credit Information Systems. You guys, this is incredible. So Heather was our very first sponsor of the event. And even in such a bigger fashion, I didn't even have to track Heather down. Like Heather saw one of the articles that we were featured in, probably an MPA article, or Mortgage Professionals of America, really resonated with the cause of elevating the female voice in the mortgage industry and reached directly out to me and was like, how can I help you? How can I sponsor? I want to be involved with this, and literally just sent me like, here's my sponsorship money. I bought 2 tickets. So Heather, I love you. I know we have not met yet, but to have the support of somebody like yourself that's the president of a massive company in our industry like Credit Information Systems, it means so much to me that you believed in the cause so much that you went out of your way to see how you can be a part of it. So thank you so much, CIS, for being a sponsor. I love you guys, and I cannot wait to get to meet you in Austin in October. And let's get started. As you guys are jumping on, go ahead and tell us hi. Go put some comments in the comment box. I am excited to announce our guest today, Nike. She's coming to us out of Texas. And when I was thinking about putting together a speaker panel, one of the mottos of the event is step out of the shadows and into the spotlight. And there's nobody else that I could think like. And as soon as I said that, I was like, dude, Nike's got to be on this time, got to be on the speaker panel. I don't even know what she's going to talk about. I called her and I was like, I don't know what you're going to talk about. But when I think of anybody to step out of the shadows and into the spotlight and shine so bright in all that majesty, you guys, she's obviously the best dressed person in mortgage, but she's got such an incredible story. So I'm so glad to have you here. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so let's get it kicked off. So why don't you share with people why you decided to become a speaker of the event, and then also what you're most excited to learn, see, do, meet at the event, and then we'll get into your story.
So, our industry is a male-dominated industry. And when you go to any event, it's always going to be maybe about 70 to 75% male gender at those events. So the women are pretty much, behind the scene. And so when I saw this and I, read through what you have in place, um, I know that this is going to be something that is going to be very impactful. And I'm always a big support of women events because I know that women are powerful. We are so powerful. We have a lot of us, we don't know how much power we have until someone comes to you and say, hey girl, you got this. And so anything that has to do with empowering women, I always want to be part of it. And so I just believe this is what this event is all about. And so I'm all in.
Yeah. No, that was one of the things too. When I reached out to you, I was like, I really love the content you put out. I love the way you do it. And I was like, I gotta get more eyes on Nike and what she's doing because you're just such a bright light in our industry. So why don't you share with people a little bit about your story, and then we'll get into what you're going to talk about at Notorious.
Okay. So my name is Nike. I was born and raised in Nigeria, came into United States in 1995 to meet my husband. I came in with my son. My son was 14 months old then. He's going to be 30 in October. It's like time flies pretty fast. So I got into the business by accident. I've never been in any mortgage industry before. I've never worked at any mortgage company before. So my husband is a real estate broker. At that time, he was a real estate agent. And so he would close an average of 6 to 8 deals a month. And he has this particular loan officer that would not pick up his call. He will not return his call. And whenever he goes to his office, he will not see him because he never made an appointment. So my husband was getting so frustrated, and I was like, okay, so what does it take to get into this business? And he said, well, I think you just have to take a class. So I went I went online, made searches, and found out what I needed to do. And that was how I got into the business. So everything that I know today was by trial and error, just try it out, and failed a couple of times, messed up some files a couple of times. But here we are today, over 21 years. I'll be 22 in August that I've been doing mortgage alongside my husband. And so God has been so wonderful to us. I have three kids, two boys and a girl. Two of my kids are in real estate. The other girl, she doesn't know what she want to do yet. Well, she's in school. She's all three of my kids are engineers. The other two are engineers. The other one is studying engineering as well. And so we're just building this boutique style real estate company here in Sugarland, catering to families, mainly first time home buyers. And then we also help some investors as well. We just want to help more people create wealth. So that's just the bottom line.
Yeah, no, that's a powerful, powerful statement. And to watch, you guys, what you're doing online with the people that you help, first time home buyers and investors, we know the power of real estate. And I know you work with a lot of maybe first generation clients here from, Nigeria, maybe the likes. And that is really a special moment because we know the shift that can happen with, I remember I had a client, they were like, I don't know, dream kids, we call them. They're like DACA kids. So they came over here. They don't really have citizenship, but they were granted citizenship. And it's like, these are first generation here in the United States, first generation homeowners. And you can see how you shift the entire trajectory of that whole family tree with somebody. It's very powerful and so meaningful. So I love that. What are you going to talk about at the event?
Well, I'm going to talk about mindset. That's what I think I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about mindset because whatever you want to be in life all starts from your mind. If you, like I said, when I came into this country, I had no family. It was just my husband. And so when we started the business, I made up my mind that this business is going to be successful. And so I put in an average of maybe 14 hours a day to work. I work to get us to where we are today. My husband came from a very, very poor family, very, very poor family. When he came into the country, he came with $200 in his pocket. And so we wanted to make sure that our children will not suffer the same way he did. So we teamed up and said, whatever we got to do to make sure that our kids are not going to suffer, we're going to do it together. And so I had to shift both of us, we had to shift our mindset from the poverty-stricken level to abundance. We have to, think about what can we do, to prepare ourselves for what is coming ahead, what God has in what God has planned for us. And so everything that you do in life, it's about your mindset. If you feel like I'm not going to be able to make it, then you're not going to make it. If you feel like, oh no, I'm going to tackle this, I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to achieve greatness, then you will achieve greatness. So that's what I think everything that you become in life is all about your mind. So just have that positive mindset. And I always like to encourage those around me to have a positive mindset. Whatever happens to you in life is going to happen. You just have to control what you can control. Okay. If I can't control it, I'm not going to focus my mind on it. I just stay happy and just keep going. And I'll leave it to God to take care of it for me.
Yeah, it's really important that you surround yourself with people that have that same mindset, because what I have experienced and what I know to be true is whoever, like, mindset is contagious, right? So be careful who you surround yourself with, because it's a virus. You got one negative person in the bunch, it'll ruin, like fruit, it ruins everything in the bunch.
Yeah.
And so I know for myself, this is probably where I spent most of my work in my like adult life, was really learning that positive mindset, because I didn't really have that to begin with. It went from unconsciously being very pessimistic and hard on myself, just unconsciously, didn't even realize it. And then I was brought to the awareness of knowing that there was a difference, but then I couldn't control it. That was a really hard place for me to be in, because that's when I felt like I was reading all the books, I was doing all the classes. I ended up working with a hypnotist because I was like, this is crazy. Like, I know the skills, I got you, but I couldn't stop that negative voice from chirping right up, right? And over time, learning just some spiritual principles for me, that everything is working out in my favor, and learning really to trust in whatever you want to call that energy. Some people call it God, we call it higher self, spirit, spirit, great Mother Earth, whatever you want to call that. Learning these spiritual beliefs for myself, it was very active of me going, God, I don't feel like that, but this is what I know to be true. And so like almost having to brainwash myself. No, I know it don't feel like everything's working out in my favor, but I'm going to hold that vision for myself.
Yes.
And the more I can see it work, then the more it reestablished my belief system.
Yeah.
And so over time, it's like now, thank God, in my 40s, now a lot of that is now subconscious. That is just how I operate, is I operate from a place of abundance and gratitude and all of that. Y'all could hear my family coming in the back. Summertime. So let's talk about your experience being a woman in mortgage and showing up on social, because the minute we put ourselves out here, I know what I think to myself is, you got to love them, right? I'm like, come in real quiet. And they just be not coming in quiet, but that's okay. I still love them.
I mean, we love them around us.
I still love them. So, going up, you show out on social, and then you open yourself up for criticism. Yeah. So let's talk about that, because as a woman, I think that we hold that it impacts us more than, say, our male counterparts. So let's talk about that with you. How has your path been in building on social?
Well, I do get some trolls on Instagram, and I get people who would send me messages in my DMs. So if it doesn't align with my purpose, I block them. I don't even give them it a second to think about it. If you come to my page and you post anything negative on my page, you're getting blocked. That's it. I there's no room. I don't allow that. So I'm guarding my mindset. I don't want anyone to make me upset. If I have a friend that is working against my purpose in life, I stay away from them. I don't want any drama. I just want to stay happy all my life. I want to stay happy. I mean, it doesn't mean that everything is okay, that everything is working out the way it's supposed to work out. Hey, I am not going to bother myself about something that I don't have any control over. So your opinion about me is your business. So you keep it to yourself. And so that is who I am when I go out there, because I know that the more I put myself out there, people will criticize. But those guys don't pay my bills. I realize that, the more I stay out there, I get a lot of people. I was in Canada last week. A lady walked up to me and asked if she could take a picture with me. So, I mean, it wasn't somebody that I've met before. And she said, "Oh, I follow you on social. I'm serious." And she took a picture with me. About 2 years ago, I went to Nigeria, and a lady ran into me at the store. She just yelled out my name, and she said, "I follow you on social." And so I know that my life is actually impacting a lot of people. I get DMs. I get calls in my office, people telling me that what I share is actually helping them. So that is what I'm focusing on. I am not focusing on anyone that is going to troll me on social media. No, not at all.
That's wild, by the way, that you go to a different country and
Yeah.
people are like, that you don't know. And then they're like, I see you on social media. Like that's the impact that you're having in this world.
Yes.
And impact comes at a cost. Unfortunately, it does. And the bigger impact we have, the more we open ourselves up for
Yes.
criticism.
Yes.
And as a woman, it's hard to have to navigate that. For myself, one of the most powerful passages, I guess you could say, it's a poem by Theodore Roosevelt. And it says, it's called Man in the Arena. And it says, it's not the critic who counts. It's all about the people on the sidelines and all the talk that they want to do about the person in the arena doing the fight. And what really matters is the person doing the fight, not everybody around what they all want to say.
Yeah.
So anytime I get challenged with that, especially on the internet, because it's real easy to be a keyboard warrior. And then even harder and I don't know if you've gone through this. I know I have gone through this. I've gone through it in like personal relationships, because it can be a challenge for some people to have somebody they know have to do what we do and put ourselves in the spotlight. And it may seem like, oh, she's bragging.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you can shift your reference, number one, this is how we build our business, how we have an impact. But at the very least, I have learned I no longer wait for anybody else to celebrate me. No. Because if you be waiting, you're going to be waiting a long time.
I've heard that so many times. Oh, she's just bragging. Oh, she puts herself out there too much. Oh, she's is she the first one to have a husband? Oh, so many things that people have said. I don't even care what they say because they do not pay my bills. I know I get a lot of clients online and people follow me because of the content that I post out there. And from there, I get more clients. So they're going to see more of me for real.
Yeah, because you see it work. It's so powerful. All of my business comes from social too. Yeah. And I think over time, what just starts to happen is as you're curating your quote unquote following, the people that have an issue with it, they kind of start to shift out. The more you put yourself out there, they go away eventually. And then the people you get to attract are, people like you. When you're in my feed, you're like probably one of the people that celebrates everything the most. And I love it. It's such positive energy. But over time, you clear out the quote unquote trash and you welcome in bigger and better. And so I have learned never to really feel bad about the loss, because a lot of times success and opportunity, what happens first is the loss. Yeah. We got to clear out that space to make room for something bigger and better.
Right.
Yeah. And so now it's like, I love the people that I surround myself with online. It's so beautiful.
You feel the peace. You love yourself. You love the people around you. You feel the peace. I had a lady that I met in Canada too, just this past weekend. It was my birthday, so my friend had organized a surprise birthday. So this lady was there. She's also a mortgage broker in Canada. She follows me on social. Paige, I cried when this lady was telling me how much of an impact I've had on her. She said that the level of success she's achieved today was as a result of her following me. I cried. I'm going to edit the video and I'm going to post it. I cried so much. She said, you may not know how much you've impacted my life, but I just want you to know today that just keep posting, because everything you post, I can really, really learn from you and have been learning from you. I mean, you sit down, somebody is telling you that, and you know that, well, wow. It doesn't matter what anybody says. This is it. This is my purpose. I'm just working that purpose.
Yeah, you know what I would do? Because I always tell people, you quit looking at the likes and the follows and the hearts and the blah, blah, blahs and the comments, because it's such a small impact It's such a small reflection of the actual impact you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was to look at, oh, how many people liked that today, right? And like, oh, then, we're looking for that immediate result. And then we base that if it's like what we're doing has value or worth or whatever. And what I've learned is it's such a small fraction of the impact. Like there's things like my mom will come to me and I'm like, I would have never known to watch the video or whatever because you didn't like comment or nothing. And so that, and then one thing that I used to do, I haven't done it in a while, but I had to put things in place so I could constantly like retrain my mind. And so along that thing is when people would send me messages that said like, you've really impacted my life or anything like that, I would screenshot it. And I have a whole album on my cell phone of people saying like how I've impacted their lives. And so if I'm in a position where I'm like, this is not working, if I'm just stuck, right? I go to that album and I would look at it and I would be like, no, because I have to like talk the devil out of my head, right? Because that negativity will really take hold. And so what were those, skills or processes that I could put into place that would help me shift that energy? And so being able to curate the people around you that'll speak life into you, which is why we have this event. Yeah. It's like, I tell people, if you're not a champion of women in our industry, do not come to the event because we don't want you here. This is like our hype squad. We're running together and we are all going to win, and how we can help each other do that. And so we curate the people around us. I know through my hype squad last year, I had the biggest income year yet. And I had a huge shift in the people I surrounded myself with. So I attribute a lot to that. So you got to curate the people around you. And then you have to like put in some things like I had the album or other ways that you can start to practice these principles to like reformat that subconscious, because that subconscious be really powerful, be more powerful than your conscious mind. Mm-hmm. And so I know that at the event, we're going to do a lot of mindset work so that, everybody has those tools, the network, the resources, the connections, the opportunities that come their way. So what do you have coming up in the future this year?
I just take life as it comes, One thing that I'm actually really thinking about is I want to get into more speaking engagements. Now I've actually been getting invitations from, I actually have an event coming up next week. Yeah, next week. I'm speaking at a church event. So I actually have been getting invitations from churches to speak to women, to speak to students on how they can start getting ready to buy homes. And I feel so much joy when I get those kind of invitations. And I'm planning on just, working on myself to get better at speaking and just, impact more lives, especially women, especially young girls, just letting them know that, you have all it takes for you to be better and for you to be successful, to be better than your parents. Because I am better than my parents, and I know that my children will be better than me. So, a lot of times these young girls, they just need someone to speak life into them. And so that's what I want to do. That's what I plan to do, just to offer support to more women, offer support whenever I can, to more women, whatever business they're involved in. I just want to offer my support and show that, hey, you've got a cheerleader in me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that. And I love that you said it really brings you joy. I'm a big fan of incorporating as many, points in your life where you can cultivate joy and happiness, because I believe energy is a powerful thing. And that's from where I work my business. As I don't track, I don't have any KPIs. I don't track anything. I'm just like,
I thought I'm the only one. I don't even track. No. I don't even know how many loans I had to call my assistant and say, hey, how many loans did we close this month? Okay. I don't even track all of that. I just want to stay busy, just close and, do things that make me happy.
Yeah. I just do like build. Some people are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I don't track anything. There's no KPIs. There's no metrics, because I like to stay in activity that feels good Because if it feels good, I will do it long enough to have success. And there's something about, like, I can feel your energy online when you show up, because that joy radiates. It's really that intention behind everything you do. It goes across all platforms. And so if, I stay in stuff that I don't want to do, you would feel that and you'd be like, I want to work with you. And so cultivating joy in your life and in your business is a huge precursor to success. The hard part is it's not a measurable item. It's like, how do you measure joy? How do you measure building relationships? How do you measure that? You don't. You just have to know what it feels like. And so I'm excited to get to talk about that at the event, because I think that is maybe a newer concept to some, because a lot of times in our industry, because it is so male centric, a lot of the training and the messaging is outwork everybody. Just outwork them. And I'm like, that's like when people tell me what they do, and I'm like, I'm gonna hard pass on that, because that sounds horrible. Like, I don't want to be cold calling people. I don't want to have to no, I don't want to have to make fake friends with real estate agents. I want to find my tribe. I want to run together. I want to have a lot of fun. I want to make my clients a ton of money. And by default, I become successful. Like, that's where I stay.
You just have, for me, I don't cold call. I don't go out to have coffee with any real estate agent. Whatever client I have, I just make sure I do a very good job. The agent is going to be satisfied with my process, and he's going to refer somebody else to me. And that's how I built my business all this year. I don't buy leads. I didn't even know if there was anything called buying leads. I never bought one single lead in my life. I've never cold called. I've never gone out to have coffee with an agent that I don't know. I have agents call me and ask if they could take me to lunch. I am so busy. I don't even have the time to go out to eat. So I tell them, no, I'm sorry. Okay, maybe another time. But that time never came because I am so busy. So, you just do what works for you.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to buy leads, more power to you. I'm sure there are people that really love that love to talk to people they don't know. That sounds like that's my worst nightmare. And when you talk to lead generation people, they're like, what if I could give you 30 leads? And I'm like, I don't want to talk to 30 people. I want 5 solid. Right. 5 solid. I dig you. I vibe with you. Let's run together. I want that. I don't want to talk to 30 people. That sounds like a nightmare to me.
It is. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. But more, there's plenty of paths to success. So if that's your path and you love it, stay there. Stay there. Well, really cool. I'm so glad you had a chance to jump on with me today. I just love you. I love your content online.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you guys go to NOTORIOUSWMN.com. You can get your tickets for our Austin event. It's going to be October 13th through the 16th. It's a 3-day mastermind for women in mortgage adjacent. We're not really going to be talking about loan programs. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, I'm a business owner, you could come. You're going to get the same great, valuable information around being an entrepreneur and being a woman, especially if you're in a male-dominated sport. And we would love to have you. It's going to be amazing. We have an all-star lineup for those 2.5 days, with also a little bit of a vacation built in. Because I don't know about you guys, whenever I go to a big event, I'm always like, can we lay out by the pool for a little bit? Or can I take a nap? Because that sounds real good too. So you're going to have some free time. And then we will have the most amazing parties. We have a denim and diamond party, which is going to be come in your best, country, bougie country. So your bougie country get up, come in your best bougie country with all your sparkles and all your rhinestones. And we're going to have a hat bar where you can, you get a cute little country hat and you get to personalize it. And then we're going to have a Taylor Swift party. It's going to be so much fun, and the content's going to be great. And you get to meet people like Nike. So join us in Austin, NOTORIOUSWMN.com, and then we'll see you next Wednesday.
All right, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.